Hello and greetings, friends. Edward Ferguson here from thewebpagesite.com. Great to meet you. Great to see everybody again. First of all, I hope that you are having the best week ever. And if not, then you will have the best week ever. So for this particular video, I'm going to be talking about some of the phenomenal women in my life. It's Women's History Month, and we have a whole month to explore the wonderfulness of the amazing women out there doing great things for society. And I'm just taking my slice out of that. Also, as of late, we just dropped the latest blog post, 6 reasons why you should hire a web development agency. If you haven't checked it out, there'll be a link in the comments below. And also, if you don't see in the comments, go ahead and check it out on the webpagesite.com. All right, and one last thing, if you find that this particular channel has some value for you, go ahead and do the thing to like and subscribe to this particular video, and drop a comment in below if there's something that you'd like us to cover in one of the future videos. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot to grow up with. I grew up in public housing, and my parents focused on education, and it was great. It was phenomenal. So, I mean, we had our first computer, my brother and I was about 6 or 7, and he was about 5 or 6. And having access to knowledge is amazing. However, without the practical application, it doesn't have as much value. So in terms of our life experiences growing up, education is very important. But in terms of the value of it, we didn't really understand and grasp what we can do with it at the time. So our expectations were of our environment. We weren't thinking about investments. We weren't thinking about homes. We weren't thinking about college even. We were just thinking about what nice car I'm going to have, what cool sneakers I'm going to get, because, you know, you're kids. That's what kids talk about. And along our life's journey, we bumped into some phenomenal people along the way. So one of those people that I personally bumped into was Annette Hoffman. She is, I'd have to say, one of the, besides my mother, one of the more influential women that have had an impact on my life. So growing up in New York City, went to school in the city, and when it came time for summer jobs, everybody's looking, trying to find a cool summer job. And this woman literally, she offered a job to myself and my brother, handing out newspapers for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Now, this is, I would have to say, way back in 1993, 94, and she didn't have to do that, but that was her contribution given back. And looking back at it now, it was such an amazing experience. First of all, I think we were getting something like $10 an hour as high school students way back in 1993, you know, just handing out newspaper, unskilled labor. So that was phenomenal. Also, she owned, and I didn't realize that at the time, but she was the owner of a personnel agency in New York City in Lower Manhattan in the late 80s and early 90s. And just by her being a business owner and taking myself and my brother in and sending us to different jobs, and we got to have some exposure to a lifestyle that we didn't even know existed. So, I mean, just that experience alone probably changed my trajectory in terms of what I thought I could be when I grew up. And, you know, fast forward a couple of years, now I'm myself a business owner. Also, another phenomenal woman, and I can't stress this enough, is my wife. My wife, so when I'm making these videos or I'm doing the tech stuff, my wife is my right-hand man or woman, and she is doing all the other stuff on the family stuff, and we trade in our roles. Truly phenomenal. And you know, they say behind every strong man is a strong woman. Well, I'm gonna have to attest to that, so shout out to my wife on that one. Also, throughout this journey of entrepreneurship, I've been blessed to come across several beautifully strong women in the space. Shout out to my coach, Angela Britt. So if you don't have a coach or a business coach for your business, I highly recommend the team that I work with, which is Entre Results. And my coach on that team is Angela Britt. We've been working together for the last year. So these videos that I'm making is actually part of her strategy, and it is her brainchild to help develop our brand at the webpage site. But overall, just phenomenal experience. Also, some of the power connectors that I've met out there. Special shout out to Katrina Keys. She's part of this group called Network in Action. Phenomenal networker. So if you need to get something done and you don't have a resource for that, I would say definitely reach out to Katrina over there. And I've seen a lot of you guys with your posts up for the month, just highlighting the phenomenal women out there. Keep it up. If there's a phenomenal woman that you want to give a shout out, feel free to go ahead and put them in the comments below. Once again, Edward Ferguson here from the webpagesite.com. And please, if you do me a favor, if this video has some value for you guys, go ahead and do the thing to like, subscribe, comment on this particular channel. All right, y'all. See you next video.